Hello everybody, this is Dyno-Gaming 122 coming back at you with another episode of the Prehistoric Hunt Let's Hunt series. Now, if you are new here, let me inform you on what the Let's Hunt series is. It is a series in which I go after a randomly chosen species. And I can only target that particular species, but there are exemptions to this rule. If you had watched the previous video, you will know them, but if this is the first one you are seeing, let me reiterate them. I can only target the selected species as a primary target. However, the exemptions are if I am being actively attacked by another species, only then can I kill it. If I encounter a super rare, I can kill that, even if it is of a separate species. And the third exemption is if I encounter a Tyrannosaurus, I have to kill it, as it is too dangerous to be simply left alone. Now, as I'm sure you can see by what contract I have active in the top right, the Carnotaurus was selected. In this video, I will be going over the best places to find them and generally talk about them as a species. Now, let's check the map. It would seem they're pretty close by. So, let's do a quick run over on what weapons I'm carrying. I am carrying the tribal bow for scoring, the Greystone 4570 as my standard rifle, and the 50 cal in case of a Tyrannosaur. Now, let's get going. I did hear a Tyrannosaur there. I can only target it if I see it. So I will attempt to leave it alone, but I doubt that will be possible. Now, onto the Carnotaurus. The majority of information can be found in the general stats. To bring them up, hit Tab on the keyboard. You will see the leaderboard for both normal and hard difficulty. And if you hit this eye icon, you can find in there general information like length, hip height, body mass, and the claws that specimens on our island can exceed these sizes, as well as suitable weapons and general trivia. Bear in mind that this is actually not my best score. I do have a legendary, but it didn't update, sadly. Now, let's get on these Carnotaurus. They are a moderately dangerous species. Their speed can make them difficult to hit when they're on the move, as in when they're sprinting. But when they are merely walking, or even better, stopped, they are relatively easy to hit. Their vital organs, such as the heart and the lungs, are both very large targets. So, with a high-power rifle like the 4570, you can effectively bring the Carnotaurus down. Now, on this first one, I will show you exactly where to aim. As well as some general tactics on how to go about killing them. I'm not seeing anything yet. but there will be some soon. And I must say, ever since the lighting update, Moreau Island, the island I am currently hunting on, looks absolutely stunning. But there are some issues on the other island, Tenebris Island, with the lighting. But for the most part, Moreau looks absolutely immaculate now. It does have some issues here and there, but the developers are thankfully working on a patch. Lots of Carnotaurus tracks around. There it is. It's just a common, so no need to go for the tribal bow here. A good area to aim is right there. That's a lung shot. That is likely stomach. This is likely a small one, as it's bleeding out rather quickly. Let's go track it down. It's down. You know an animal is down when this red dot appears on your map. However, that red dot only appears on easy and normal difficulty. On hard difficulty, it does not appear. Alright, let's see. Just follow the prints. And here we go. The first Carnotaurus of the hunt. Fairly average size one. Keep in mind this diagram is not accurate to the current model. A general trick is, when you're just starting out, hit fill contract. This is the way you can make your money rather quickly. But since I have no need for money, I can simply hit claim. And it seems there's another. This one was slightly larger. And thanks to the increase in session bonus, I ended up getting a better score, and that was an accident. I do like this model, although it is way too tall. In reality, Carnotaurus stood at around 7 feet. Not the nearly 18 feet these ones do. Locating them without the help of a contract's beacon will be relatively difficult, but luckily, I know where to find them, and I will go over that now. The Carnotaurus are a very mobile species. However, in general, they inhabit this area between the lighthouse and around the temple, And the areas stretching between the supply warehouse, this stash, and the fuel depot, and right back around. This area is full of them at most times. It seems that the night is likely ending soon. How I can tell, the moon appears to be going down. I hear steps. They're very faint, though. However, with how heavy they are, they could be a large carnivore. The general goal of this video is to get at least 5 Carnotaurus. That appears to be a Tyrannosaur tail. And it is. I am hoping I can at least attempt to avoid this. Let's actually get up onto this hill and call for a helicopter with the one piece of equipment every player should work towards: the satellite phone. The satellite phone is one of my most important pieces of kit in my loadout. I carry it all the time, simply due to how useful it is. From any point on any map, be it an official map or a community-made map, you can effectively call a helicopter to transport you to any point of interest. The points of interest, or primary points of interest, are the yellow icons on the map. These are their locations. Take a screenshot if you need to. Now, let's head to the fuel depot, as there is likely a few Carnotaurus in the area. And Kylosaurus. I already did you guys, so I'll leave you alone if you leave me alone. What was I saying? Let's just continue moving away from these large armored brutes, and continue searching for the only larger carnivore that actively inhabits this general area: the Carnotaurus. As I was saying earlier, the vital organs of the Carnotaurus are very large targets. Their lungs are huge, and their heart sits fairly low on the chest. the best chance at getting a heart shot are from a frontal angle when crouched. If you can manage this a heart shot with a powerful firearm like the 338, 4570, or the 50 cal, you will likely drop it, regardless of its size. But with weaker firearms, like the 3030, the revolver, the hunting rifle, and the standard rifle, a heart shot either way is a very good one, as it cuts the health down very quickly. It sounds like there are Gallimimus in the area. Lucky for them, they are off limits. Now, where are these Carnotaurus? We have gotten 2 out of the minimum of 5 so far. And perhaps we may encounter something special. Like, perhaps a piebald. A variety I have not seen in a very, very long time. At least for the Carnotaurus. I keep thinking those patches of dirt are common Carnotaurus. Because from a distance, that does look kind of Carno-ish. But regardless, let's carry on. It seems the powers that be, RNGesus, do not wish to grant us a Carnotaurus contract to make this easier. No matter, I shall search this general area. If you're enjoying the video so far, perhaps leave a comment, a like, and a subscribe. It really helps out, especially considering how small of a creator I am already. And if you're interested in the game, it is available on Steam for 20 Canadian dollars. And it does often go on sale for between 30 to 60% off. This game is only available for PC as of now, but there are plans for it to come to console eventually. However, this will likely take the developers at least another 5 years due to the fact that the game is still in early access. What was I saying? Oh yes, the developers of this game, as far as I am aware, there are only 2 developers. And they are very vocal about what they're adding and how things are generally going with the game. This game is a passion project of them, and since it is still in early access, there are a lot of things that do need fixing, such as weapon suitability changes, as well as rebalancing certain weapons and certain species. The Carnotaurus actually being one of them. As of current, the Carnotaurus is simply not as dangerous as a similarly sized carnivore, the Allosaurus, which inhabits Tenebris Island. Well, seems like we found an exception. But it's stuck, though. No matter. Gonna have to go around this tree and see if we can get a good shot at its heart. Perhaps this could end up my first legendary Pteranodon. However, I doubt that, considering I am at 20% session bonus. It would appear it cannot reach us. There we go. Let's quickly take a health pack. Not my personal best, it has not beaten it. But still, a good trophy nonetheless. And it appears there are some Tyrannosaurs I will need to handle. That sounds like an Iguanodon. Perhaps we could spot an interspecies interaction. That's the Lassodromus. Moreau Island is home to two pterosaurs. The smaller Thalassodromus and the larger Pteranodon. Due to its larger size and very different crest, the Pteranodon is easily recognizable. The Lassodromus is instantly recognizable thanks to the massive, extravagant crest. And I look forward to making Let's Hunt videos for both of these species, considering how interesting they are. And oh, it seems we have discovered something I have not found yet. Oh. It's a note. There goes a Triceratops. This is as good a place as any to call for another helicopter, so that we can check another area for our targeted species. That Tyrannosaur is far enough that I do not have to engage with it. as I cannot accurately fire that far despite how many hours I have. Let's try the temple ruins. Due to how enclosed this area is, the Carnotaurus are relatively dangerous here, as due to how agile they are, they can duck and weave through the brush. But with how much I know and how much you, the viewers, will know, you will find that the Carnotaurus, when dealt with accordingly, is not excessively dangerous. And it would appear there are Utah raptors. I will now attempt to avoid them, as to avoid drawing unnecessary attention from rifle firing. Normally, by now, I would have taken at least 7 Carnotaurus. But my goal of a minimum of 5 still stands. Simply due to how easy they are to bring down. I will come back once I locate a Carnotaurus. Well, I've looked over most of the map now, and I can't find any. So, I am ending the video here. I know I had said I was going to do a minimum of 5, but I've scoured almost the entire map at this point. I just cannot find them. Now, wait. No, that's Triceratops. What was I saying? Oh yes, I'm ending the video now. If you would like to see other content, other games, feel free to leave a comment regarding which one you would like to see. Keep in mind, I only do hunting games and horror games. So keep suggestions within that general realm. However, I will more than likely branch out into some survival games. See you in the next one.